Keep it 2 seconds.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Emory Ogletree II, A.K.A. the main attraction, here with my brother, BJ.
Yes, sir.
In the building, man. Glad to have you here.
Nah, thanks for having me, man.
I'm glad to have you, brother. It's my first time, trying to break the game. Two young brothers on the come up. Sports broadcasting just needs a little injection of some new blood, and we're here to get that done.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to it, man. We've been talking for a while, and it's finally time to get down. So let's say the first topic of the day, man, we're going to talk about this college football playoff.
Right.
Let's say we got Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, and Notre Dame. First question, did they get it right?
They got it right if you're thinking about the business of college football. And sports is a business first. That's one thing I'm learning in my career, man, is you got to kind of get rid of, as far as we're going to go, fanhood has to leave at some point. You got to look at it as a business. Right. And I think they got the right teams for what people want to see and what's going to make the most money. Could you argue one or two other teams? Yeah, but you can do that if you had a 10-team playoff. 11 and 12 going to be mad. 8 playoff. 9 and 10 going to be mad. 6 playoff. 7 and 8 going to be mad. Somebody going to be mad. The NCAA tournament gets 69 teams, and they spend 2 hours after Selection Sunday debating about who didn't get in after 69 teams. So I think business-wise and I think some good game-wise, they got it right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, when I look at the top 4 teams, when I look at Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, and Notre Dame, I have no problems with it. That tournament championship between Alabama and Georgia was a great game. And I really honestly wouldn't have been mad had Georgia got that 4th spot. I really couldn't, but since Oklahoma won the tournament, being the one loss, I was watching my man from the committee, the president, saying we concentrate on championships. I could respect that. So Oklahoma getting that last spot, with respect, I could see that. But again, Georgia could have got a shot. I would have loved to see a rematch between Alabama and Georgia. But on top of that, I was talking to Rob. You and I both know Rob.
Rob. I was in the studio with them last week. Cool Rob Ski.
Shout out to Rob Parker.
Yes,
man.
mentor.
The one thing about Rob, man, and I love Rob, but the one thing he said kind of rubbed me the wrong way. He said that Michigan was the most overrated school, in terms of college football, based just off their name. Now, see, for me, that's Notre Dame. Now, with all due respect, anybody who knows me knows that I'm not a fan of Ohio State. Granted, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, love my city. Okay. But I just didn't grow up a fan of Ohio State, only because no one really ever explained to me the whole reason to be a Buckeye fan. And Buckeye fans are just a whole nother level than your regular fans.
Yes.
But that being said, though, Notre Dame beat Michigan. Ohio State obliterated Michigan. Yeah. Now, you could make an argument, should have Ohio State been in the top 4? My thing was, and this is not had nothing to do with my bias, but the only reason why I said they got this right, you can't overlook that beating they took from Purdue.
Absolutely.
That 20 points.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just basically put them out the race for me regardless of whatever. Even if Georgia had beat Alabama, Oklahoma should have got in. Ohio State was never in my running. Yeah. How you feel about that?
I'm a Michigan fan. I've been a Michigan fan all my life. I'm a Michigan man. It was embarrassing, number one, to watch them play Ohio State this year. That was embarrassing. If I was a Michigan player, I wouldn't even want to walk campus. I don't like when players get blown out. You still have these, we fall, but get back up tweets. Man, I'm old school. Knock all that, bro. You got your tail handed to you thoroughly. So they got some things they need to work out there. I can't go against what Rob is saying, even being a fan, because I have to look at the scope just honestly and unbiased. Are they overrated? No. Does the name carry weight? Yeah, but it carries weight with the Yankees, Carolina basketball, Duke basketball, with the Dodgers baseball. Like, it carries weight. Great, the Packers, the Steelers, the Cowboys. Your name carries weight. Your name will carry weight. Emory Ogletree will carry weight. VJ Vernon carries. Your name carries weight. So I don't think that makes you overrated. I will say this though: Michigan lost 2 games to the number 3 and the number 16. At the end of the day. They lost their games to number 3 and number 6.
Yes, sir.
Georgia's just really interesting because if you say we want the 4 best teams, is Georgia better than Michigan? Yeah. Are they better than Ohio State? Yeah. Are they better than Oklahoma? I'm not sure. Is their defense better than Oklahoma? Yeah. Yes. But is their offense better than Oklahoma? No.
You don't think so?
No. Oklahoma has the number 1 ranked offense in the nation for a reason.
That's fair.
If you got to win 55-54 and you score 55, you won the game. Right. Now, did your defense give up 54? Yeah. But did your offense keep going back out on the field over and over and over again and moving the ball down the field, putting the ball in the end zone? Yeah. And at the end of the day, the great Bill Russell once said, sports will always be, always has been, and is now about who scores more points. Period. So their offense, the Georgia offense is not close to Oklahoma's offense. Now, the caveat to all of that is you got to put the conference champion in there.
Absolutely.
Like you said, you got to put the conference champion in. Now, with Notre Dame, they won their games. I'm not a big fan of Notre Dame being there, but they went undefeated. If they had one loss, they'd be out. If one team had snuck up, if Syracuse had played right, or if Northwestern had snuck up and got them, some of them teams towards the end of the year, everybody had a shot. Mm-hmm. You had them on the field. You're 11 against their 11 offensive defense. You didn't get the job done. So a lot of people are mad Notre Dame there, but I'm like, bro, they won their 13-0, 13-0, or undefeated. Number 1's undefeated, number 2's undefeated, number 3's undefeated. You can't keep undefeated teams out. If you win your games, you're there. Ohio State, the Purdue loss. The Purdue loss is just bad. And if you look at that as opposed to everybody else's loss, Oklahoma's got one loss, but their one loss they avenged in the conference championship game. Michigan didn't make it in. They're sitting at number 7. I don't have a problem with that. They have 2 losses. Everybody else won. So Ohio State can't get in.
I said it's funny. I don't know why I thought Notre Dame had 1 loss.
No, undefeated. Nobody beat them.
And Marley, do me a favor and been to the. I just wanted. Well, I thought they at least had 1, but at the same time, it goes back to your previous point. Notre Dame, again, just the name. And like I said, I think it goes to your point of the business. Yeah. And I said, and what bigger name is there in college football than Notre Dame?
Watch how many people travel for them games.
Absolutely.
You watch how many Notre Dame fans show up for that game.
It's like Dallas Cowboys.
Hotels, restaurants, all the flights, the whole nine, bro.
It's the Dallas Cowboys in college football. That's why I'm just like, I sat down, I was watching, I was like, Notre Dame.
They coming.
You can't take them out. You can't take them out. I was like, had they lost another one, this isn't even a discussion. But again, I was like, I'm knowing the Buckeye fans the way I do. Again, they're probably sitting there saying, hey, we beat Michigan worse than Notre Dame did.
But they didn't move Michigan up.
Exactly.
They kept Michigan right at 7. Michigan was 7 last week. And they basically just took Oklahoma and Georgia said, they already said, Ohio State, you're not going in. Just 2 real quick points. Business, man. What Ohio State went through earlier this year, they can't have them in the playoff. And it's not right, but it's the business. You can't have the story of the college playoff being about that stuff that was going down with Zach Smith and his wife and Herb and you can't. That's why they're not there. That's not. I was tweeting with Kurt Herbstreit earlier this morning. He goes, "You're right. I feel the same. You can't, business wise." Kyler Murray being the base because he's already admitted he's leaving to go play pro. He's gonna take the $6 million to go play majors. I probably would too.
Right.
He ain't playing football.
The money's better, but in terms of health-wise, though, it'd be a smart decision.
Absolutely. So you want him in. Mm-hmm. You got Nick. You got Saint Nick in. You got Dabo in. You got Notre Dame, power brand, and now you're looking. So do we want Georgia in? Well, what does Georgia bring? Nobody can really name you. The average college fan can't name you 3 players first and last name from Georgia.
I know the kid from the QB from on that team.
Exactly.
Right, and I said,
Holyfield, son. But if you kind of go through the roster, it's like, the college is a bit. They need names to sell. They need stuff, and Oklahoma will travel too.
Absolutely.
Their fans will travel. I believe they're down in the Orange Bowl. Oklahoma's got to play Alabama in the Orange Bowl. I believe. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's gonna be crimson red all over that city.
Oh, it's going to definitely be interesting.
So,
and I guess back to the sports point of view, we can't overlook the fact that Georgia almost had Alabama beat last year national championship had it not been for the fact of the insert of Tua, who just basically shocked the world.
We've had 2 shots at Bama, man, the last 2 years, and you can't.
And 2 solid shots.
You can't get it done.
But what other teams outside of Georgia give them that kind of except for Clemson?
I'm about to say,
that kind of competition.
Don't try to play D. Watts.
Oh, no.
D. Watts got it done.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And shout out to Dabo Sweeney.
Yes.
Doing a hell of a job.
He got it done.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I was like, but outside of Clemson, Georgia 2 shots, but they could have, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But it was close. That's what I said. But I think, when we talk about the business, even for the sport, would I have minded a rematch of Georgia, Alabama? I think Jalen Hurts came in, did a great job, and you want to talk about the freakish deja vu with Jalen Hurts coming in the way he did, considering the way he was taken out last year and Tua took his spot. He stepped up to the plate. So keep him
at 4 and then have him play Alabama again, back to back.
Now, see, from the business standpoint, I wouldn't have put him on the same side, but would I put him on the other side to play Notre Dame? And then possibly set up an all-SEC national championship, that I could have saw.
But then you have 1 and 2 playing each other and 3 and 4 playing each other. That would have turned people completely off of the playoff. If you it's got to be 1, 4, 2, 3. If you're gonna do a bracket, you got to do the brackets the way the bracket's supposed to be done.
You did Alabama, Notre Dame, which would still grab ratings.
Okay, 1, 3, and then
Clemson
2, 4,
and Georgia. Which I think would still be solid.
But then is it a true playoff if you do that, though? It's not a true playoff. You got to follow the bracket. Because people want this true play. Listen, I don't like the playoff. I like the BCS more because the way I looked at it is, at the end of the day, there's really only two teams that can win a national championship. There's really only two teams. I know you can throw all these variables around. There's really only two squads. It's either going to be Alabama or Clemson win a national championship this year. Notre Dame's got no shot because Alabama's defense will suffocate them. I don't think their defense can hang with Clemson's offense. Oklahoma don't have a defense. They're going to get thrashed by Alabama. Alabama's going to beat the living snot out of them. We're going to watch the same national championship game 3 of the last 4 years. Alabama and Clemson. That's going to be, and those are the two teams that if you just watch the season all year long, it's like every Saturday. Yeah, I mean, come on, 55, 60, 61. They score 58. They score 49. They score 52. They score 47. They score 40. Every week. It's like, yeah, those are clearly the two best teams. They haven't struggled in the last 2 months and I don't even think that was a struggle. I think Georgia, like they did it last year, man. They were up like 20-6, and they just, and for some reason, either their players shut it off. You're a former player, man. You're a former big-time athlete. Some guys just turn it off mentally. They just don't know how to go through the finish, and that's what Georgia's done. Georgia, listen, you had your 2 shots. You didn't get it done, Bulldog fans. That's the bottom line.
And the bottom line is that we both agree they got it right. Looking forward to, I mean, these are the games that count. I mean, I can go, it's a whole other segment to talk about why there's so many bowl games in college football, but these are the games that are going to count. We're talking for the national title, but we agree on the fact they got the
Do you like
right.
bowl games? I do.
Another thing, I know I don't, but I say it's the same.
I just wanted to quit you. So you don't?
I'm not for it. I don't care about who wins the championship. That's what I'm about.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's the same for another day.
I watch all of them.
But sticking with the college rank, let's talk about Duke, because you and I have been rapping off camera, and man, we just are not on the same page. You got at me on my Twitter, and I sat there and I told you Duke is going to run the ACC. Now, right now, I said Duke's in here ranked 3rd in the country. I mean, everybody's making a big hype out of the freshmen. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but I keep telling everybody, I was like, Duke is deep. It's not just the 3 freshmen. They are deep. And I am telling you right now that if my early pick, I cannot go against Duke right now to win that championship. Because for me, as I told you before, nothing against Gonzaga. Gonzaga beat Duke. I get it, but with me, it was 60-40. And if you really watch, no, they won by 2. They won by 2.
It don't matter what they won by.
Anyway,
the whole game.
They won by 2. The bottom line is, I think Duke, they're young, they're going to learn from this. Duke is a sleeper squad. Well, not even a sleeper squad. Duke is my pick to win the national championship early. Your feelings on that?
Here's my thing that a lot of people don't talk about. Okay, and I try to with sports. There's the top of the water, and then there's the snorkelers, and then there's the scuba divers, and then there's Jacques Cousteau. See, I'm Jacques Cousteau. I'm Jacques Cousteau. I go deeper than normal people go. Coach K, for whatever people want to say about him, like him or not, he cannot coach one and dones. It just doesn't happen. He had 1 shot with it with Okafor, and they got a lot of referee help against that Wisconsin team that was up in the half. And he went and complained to the refs at half and complained to the sideline reporter at the half, and all them whistles started blowing in the second half. They should have lost that game. But if you look at when he goes and gets one and done kids, Coach K is the kind of guy, he needs his guys. He's like Roy Williams, and I'm a Tar Heel. He's like Roy Williams. Roy ain't going to win with one and dones. That's why he don't go get them. He wins with juniors and seniors. Guys that are 3 and 4 stars, you bring them in and you work with them over some years. And you build them. That's why he's got 3 national championships in the last 12 years.
But V, at the same time, though, I mean, the tradition of Duke has always been, you stay for the long haul. From the Leitner squad to the Battier team.
To Jay Williams and Battier and all them guys. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Grant Hill, Hurley, all of them. I get what you're trying to say, but my thing on top of that, though, is Coach K, to me, is still new to this one and done thing. But let's look at this one and dones. Kyrie, when you guys at Duke, he got hurt.
Yeah, he only played 11 games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, I mean, he was all right at Duke, but I mean, his game was more tailored more for the NBA. Ingram, same thing. I wasn't that impressed with Ingram at Duke. These kids at Duke now, these particular freshmen, they impress me. I love the way they play. I love their energy, and the fact that they are being led by Coach K, who's arguably, well, not to me, he's the best coach of the last half century, easily. He's the best college coach of the last half century.
Are you forgetting about guys like Boeheim and Calhoun and Roy?
No, absolutely not. No disrespect, but you tell me they're better than Coach K?
Yeah.
If
they're not better, to me, there's no best when it comes to that title. I just think there's 4 or 5 guys that you can just look at and you can point and pick and go, well, he's got 3 national championships. He won with a freshman Carmelo. He's got 3 national championships with 3-star guys he bought. So that's discussion. That's probably for a different
another day we can go.
But back to the freshmen. Number 1, all the freshmen can play.
Absolutely.
They're all really good kids. They all really could play. Okay,
Absolutely.
so let's get that out the way. I think the better NBA player is going to be Cam Reddish. I think the better NBA player is going to be Cam Reddish because when I watch Zion Williamson, I think Zion Williamson is one of the most overly hyped freshmen that I've seen in the last 20 years because all I see is a bunch of highlights. And in the league, on the next level, he better, number one, learn how to defend. He better, number one, learn how to shoot. He better, number one, learn how to do more than, because even at 6'8", or 6'9", whatever he is, bro, you ain't getting that lane like that in the league. Like, there's bigger bodies, everybody, half the NBA built like you. So this weight thing, and see that weight thing, I saw, and I'm not comparing him to Sean May, okay? I'm not saying that Sean May was him. But I've watched that body type not be structured enough mentally, and you get to the league and you get a lot of money, you're still 19, 20, you still don't eat right, you still don't really take care of your body right, and you balloon. He's got that kind of southern East Coast. I'm from the South and the East Coast. I know. You don't eat right, homie. You only a bowl of cheese grits and a biscuit away from being out of the league. But the team itself, when people say they're going to win a national championship, young teams don't win national championships. In any sport, in any collegiate sport, seniors and juniors win national championships. You can't. The Fab Five was probably the greatest thing we ever saw freshman-wise, right?
Always the Fab Five.
And back-to-back years, though, they got to the championship. Who they lose to? They lost to veteran teams. They lost to seniors and juniors at Duke. They lost to senior Eric Montross and Derek Williams and Derek Phelps and Brian Williams from Carolina. Those guys were all seniors. And then looking at these 18, 19, I was like, bro, listen, you're good, but we've done this before. So when it comes down to the game and the coach can't do the X and O and you got to go execute, as an 18-year-old freshman, you can't mentally go and go, you know what, we've been here. We've been here at the Elite Eight last year. We were here at the Sweet 16 2 years ago.
Now, see, that's where I think you're taking a little bit away from Coach K. This is where my respect for Coach K. This is where my respect for Coach K as a coach, as a leader of a team, kicks in.
Where's it been with the rest of his freshmen then that he brings up?
But let me explain. These freshmen, to me, are better than those previous freshmen. They're not the same.
All three of them?
All three.
Are better than Tatum?
At Duke, yes. I'm saying that these particular three freshmen.
Ingram, I'll give you.
Or even, well, it's hard for me to say Kyrie because Kyrie's body of work wasn't very big.
But even Okafor, look, I wasn't a fan, man, but Okafor was a monster as a freshman at Duke, and he had low post game. He couldn't be on the perimeter and jack up threes and play freely. He had to go post, seal, you play ball, seal, and expect the guards to get him the ball and still win 20 and 10.
That's my next point of the depth. That's what I'm saying. Duke does have upperclassmen, but see, the freshmen get so much attention.
Yeah.
Now, I'm with you. The Zion comparisons to LeBron drove me crazy. I don't know why. I even put it on
not close to LeBron.
Exactly. I put it on my Twitter feed. I was like, can the kid just build his own legacy? Why?
Yeah.
It's this media hype, the field we're trying to get in. I think, again, why we need this injection, because we got to bring some realism to all this. I was like, no, let the kid breathe. Let him build his own legacy. I'm not building him to LeBron. Yeah, the build I get. Yeah, but that's where it stops.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
It's really the dunking. He don't pass like LeBron.
But even LeBron didn't necessarily dunk like that. But that's a nice dunk.
LeBron was passing nice in high school.
His skill level is nowhere near what LeBron was coming into the league. But I was like, so the hype, yes, is very much over. So, but I said the depth that Duke has, they have upperclassmen on that bench. A bench that doesn't get, the credit they deserve when they go in the game. You know why? Because they're not in there very long, and all the focus is sitting here on Williamson, Barrett, and Reddish, and shout out to Jones. The younger Jones. He is a great.
Homie little brother playing Minnesota.
He is a great floor general.
He is.
He's a great.
They're gonna need him. They're gonna need him down the stretch of the tourney.
And I said, and the way I see him run the floor. Like I said, when they played Gonzaga, let's get back to the Gonzaga real quick. Gonzaga was up by as much as 16 in the second half.
Yeah.
And the tail tape for me, when I was watching that game, you look at the energy of Duke in the first half and look at the energy of Duke in the second half. They just simply turned it up. And the one thing I said, I was with my pops back home for the holiday. We were watching that game. And I sat there and told him, I was like, this is the youth showing in Duke. I was like, here's the one thing that, especially for Zion, he has to learn, you can't dunk on everybody. And I was like, you can't dunk on everybody.
Develop a jumper.
And I was like, and the one thing that I feel will be Duke's kryptonite is that Gonzaga had that lane. They had that side. They had the, I might be pronouncing this miscorrectly, Haramuchi or
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
know
But I mean, they ushered in what?
He was busting
6'10", 6'11", 6'10".
With wingspan.
Exactly. And that disturbed dude.
So what happens if they run into a team like that in the tourney, with seniors
no,
and juniors?
No, number one, like I said, it was a great learning experience. This is why I think Coach K is going to grab their ear and say, look, see what happens?
All right.
So see what happens. We're gonna learn from this, and I guarantee they're gonna get you. He's gonna get them prepared. By March, this team will be scary. I guarantee they will.
They're scary now.
No, I'm gonna be
They're
scared.
scary
They'll
now.
be scary.
But the ACC is the SEC of college basketball. You grind through, like the ACC tournament. My nephew went to Carolina. I sat and talked to Roy Williams. I've been in the locker room. I've been around them kids. They care more about the regular season title than they do the ACC tournament title, because their mindset is, we were the best team from December to March. Winning the 3 games in 3 days doesn't mean you're the best team in the. We've seen
that's more so for the schools who are on the line, or like you don't have a shot, or maybe like we need to get something that can probably convince the committee to put us in.
You talk 2 games with Carolina, 2 games with Virginia. Okay, they're gonna have to go play Syracuse. They're gonna have to go up and play Pitt. So there's the ACC. The reason why the whole undefeated talk and all that stuff drove me crazy. It's like, hold up, bro.
I didn't say undefeated.
Jason Williams.
I didn't say
not
undefeated.
you, but Jay Will, and I know Jason Williams. I've talked to Jason when Duke and Carolina was recruiting him, and we went to a game up in Massachusetts. My wife and I went to go watch Kendall play a high school game. Jason Williams was calling the game and pulled him aside, and we talked that. Even for him, and as smart as he sounds a lot of times to say, they can go undefeated. Like, bro, you played in the ACC. Your team couldn't even go undefeated in the ACC. And you had Dunleavy, Boozer, Battier. Y'all were stacked, and y'all lost 2 ACC
but plus,
games.
I think, the ACC, the ACC to me has always been tough in basketball.
It's the creme de la creme of college basketball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, do I look at the ACC now, or do I even look at college basketball now like I did back in the day? I was like, I'm not saying that the competition is good, but I look at it from the 80s, the 90s,
of course,
the early 2000s. I don't think it's as tough as what it used to be, but it's still the conference to be looked at.
They will lose 3 or 4 ACC games. You mark.
I say no more than 2.
They'll split with Carolina. They'll split with UV. Oh yeah, they split with Carolina. It's a rivalry game, bro. It's a rivalry game.
There's nobody in Carolina that can match up on them.
Listen, well, they don't have to match up with them. All you got to do is see basketball. See, Coach Roy teaches team basketball. They will play. No. Not with this squad. This squad is listen. Let me tell you. Let me just throw this out here. With the freshmen. No, with the freshman he doesn't. When it was Okafor, it was Rod Okafor. When it was Tatum, it was Rod Tatum. When it was Ingram, it was Rod Ingram. And even Ingram took shine away from Grayson last year. Even Ingram Tatum 2 years ago took that shine away from Grayson, and Grayson's supposed to be the guy. What's going to be the death of Duke is, like I said, when they come up against a veteran team with lean and don't care about the name on your jersey, that's where it can cause them some problems. And I think too many times we're starting to hear RJ Zion. Don't think they don't hear it. Don't think them 2 kids don't hear it. A coach can talk, bro, all they want to. This is a new age. You talking about college basketball being different? It's a new age now.
It is.
These kids, they're on Twitter. They're building their brand now.
But from what I'm seeing right now, it doesn't seem to be any egotistical, attitudes as of right now.
You didn't think that, because that was me and you. We were liking some of the same feeds on Twitter. That Gonzaga game, I heard a lot of people blaming RJ Barrett for that.
Oh, I didn't blame anybody.
I know you did, but you saw that though, right?
Yeah,
a lot of people. He hearing too much about Zion. I'm hearing that his people's is like, no, he gonna be the number 1. I'm just saying. It's out. Right now it's still early. So yeah.